Now, thanks for staying with us. Now, according to experts' opinion on diversity and inclusivity in beauty, successful brands recognize that demonstrating a strong and authentic commitment to diversity and inclusion via employment, product development, and marketing efforts can help drive inspiration and gain support. In fact, over the past year, 21% of adults who use beauty products have sought out beauty brands that promote diversity, and 20% have paid more for a beauty product for an inclusive brand. Now, to make a real impact and inspire consumers, brands must be authentic in their approach. Diversity in beauty is not a marketing tactic. It's an essential practice that requires brands to listen and collaborate with members of the community they hope to reach to ensure successful and meaningful products and campaigns are done. Now, inclusion is an ongoing and necessary process that needs to be considered during every phase of the product development process. What impact do you think inclusivity has had on the beauty business in the world? Now, please, let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-8663. You can also tweet at us at WayShowAfrica with the hashtag WayShow. So, Uti, I'll come to you quickly, and Manny, before I'll bring in our guest. Manny is smiling now.
Yes.
All right. So when you hear inclusivity and beauty business, right? I mean, gone are the days where beauty is for a specific kind of person. Now it is everywhere. Everybody has, something for everyone.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts, where you think the impact is had on what inclusivity has had on beauty?
We've come a really long way, but we still have a really long way to go as well. For me, I grew up in the generation where it was Mac and Mac only.
Yeah.
But we have come a long way. We got to a point where, so first of all, the beauty industry was for white people. So they had the colors, and there's the darkest shade,
For
which
every
was
black
probably about your shade or a little bit darker. I remember, so my mom was a model when she was younger, so she was very much into makeup. And so when I was a teenager, she took me to Harrods and she said, okay, we're going to buy you makeup. And I remember we walked around every counter. And I mean, if you've seen the beauty hall at Harrods, it is extensive. And there was only two places. There was MAC and there was Laura Mercier. And the Laura Mercier powder was the closest. It wasn't the right shade, but at least it was
never have the right
in
shade.
the region, right? So it was a very different market many years ago, back then. And for a lot of people, indeed, will say that they started from MAC. MAC was where you found your colors. And all these brands were creating for a market. So as a market, we didn't really matter because you followed the numbers, you followed the money. So when we got to the point where people started to become more aware, and I think social media was also a huge part of that, people started to get more aware and understand that I think it's you have a voice and not body shaming. And we became proud of who we were. And one of the people that I saw, or I will say bloggers because I won't say influencers, but a lot of bloggers started to call out these brands who claimed to be diverse, but then the dark shade stopped somewhere just past you. So really, really forcing the industry to turn slowly. But then brands like Fenty came out where there were shades and shades and shades. And I mean, even when I was learning about makeup, the difference that a blue undertone would have to the same red lipstick to a gold undertone, you start to realize that it's not just about your shade. You could look exactly the same and have different undertones. So you needed companies that understood the peculiarities
Pigmentation
of black skin. But then there's not just black skin. There's the olives. There is the Asian. Like, there's just a whole plethora. So when you talk about diversity, of course, we will see it from our perspective as black women, but there's a huge world out there, and forcing the industry to recognize all of us, including the boys that now wear makeup.
Now one. Mandy, let me hear your thoughts in a minute.
Yeah, so for me, it's just everything Uti has said. And what I used to think, like she said, all we knew was MAC. MAC, everybody had to have a MAC. And then I actually thought it was just a white person's business. And then from nowhere, Zara came up,
Zaron,
Tara, Zikel,
everybody.
Everybody started coming, and I was like, okay, so this is a business. And in 2017,
Sleek came first.
Okay,
it was Sleek that
sorry,
was the first.
Apologies, Sleek. 2017, Fenty came. And yes, it was
after MAC was
Iman. Exactly. And I know I found a shade in Iman. But the funny thing, just like Uti said, that they still have a long way to go. up till today, I still have to mix. I still mixed today.
I saw it.
So, so I mixed because I can't find my shade.
Wait, was it Iman before Merike or Merike before Iman?
No, Mary,
Let
Imam
me
came before Mary.
I think they came
let
at
me
the
bring
same
in our
time,
guest.
yeah.
So Leslie Okoye is the founder of Cookie Skin, the melanin skincare line for women of color to achieve healthy, flawless skin without causing skin damage. Leslie's passion for doing skincare the right way led to Cookie Skin Academy, the world's leading education provider in melanin skincare consulting. Cookie Skin Academy aims to put the power back in the hands of women and men of African descent to own their beauty and do skincare the right way, choosing the right products, preventing skin damage, saving money and time, and strengthening their confidence. Now, with over 15 years of hands-on experience with melanin skin issues, Leslie Okoye is the #1, chosen skincare expert to many Nigerians and Ghanaian celebrities. Now, her Cookie Skin brand is sold nationwide in Nigeria in top chain pharmacies and supermarkets. And she's joined us live in studio, looking very, very skinnish. She's the skin. Now we see you, we see skin. Oh yeah. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I mean, this is an amazing conversation to have, and I'm glad that you were able to make out time to join us, to have this conversation. You have been in this business for a long time.
Yeah.
And I remember when I saw you many years ago, Cookie Skin, I think.
Where did you see me?
We had a conversation. I interviewed you on a different show.
Okay.
Many years ago, and Cookie Skin, before then, that was even before the academy, and I've seen how you've grown over the years, and the brand is becoming, it has become a household name. So when you look back and you see how far we've come along in the beauty world, right, how does that make you feel, first of all, as a person?
That's a lovely question. Well, I'm happy that people are listening, and I'm happy that the conversation is ongoing, especially when it comes to inclusive beauty. I don't feel like we've gone far enough. I feel like it's basically a cover-up, just like you've got, Makeup is for enhancements. It's now being used more and more to cover. And the question is why, for me. And it got me thinking, and sometime this year, I was able to find my voice in terms of understanding, when I say find my voice, that beauty is about understanding your own skin, beauty, how you present yourself, understanding it, being able to solve the problems by yourself, knowing what to reach for without making mistakes. And Africans, women of color, minorities, people who are high in melanin, have been left out of what is most important, which is skincare. So the cover up in the, I'll call it big cosmetica, just like they call big pharma, has been, they would include you in makeup. Who are the main manufacturers and the main industry holders of makeup? It's all Caucasians, whites, Europeans, big companies. Then they do private label or OEM, whether it's coming from China, whether it's coming from the US or UK, and then you can now make your own brand under Fenty Beauty or under Iman or under whatever brand, and you say inclusive beauty, or they put a magazine and they have black people, then they say inclusive beauty. It didn't really get that much of a conversation because there's not much energy or truth, let me say truth, in there. What's really the conversation? That you put a black girl in a magazine? Clap. Yes, it's nice for us to see people like us, but for what purpose? What's the end goal? Why? So that we can buy more makeup? And then we should be proud of ourselves as a people, as a culture, or as a nation, that we are the ones that spend 3 to 8 times as much more on makeup and skincare. What does that tell you? That we're confused. What is the savings account of an African woman? Nothing compared to that of a white woman. Because we're spending it on beauty.
Everything.
Because we don't own our beauty. And it's not because we don't have a brand name called Iman or Fenty. That's great. Or there was one, Fashion Fair.
Yeah.
Those are all iconic. They were necessary and it's needed. But the reason that we are lost and confused and we need to be included, when I say included, It's down to the formulation. That manufacturing company has to care about black skin. That's where they show that the care comes from. That's the only time where you can really get colors, where you can really get skincare that takes care of your skin to actually keep it even, because they are studying melanin skin. When you go to dermatologists, they don't study melanin skin except when it comes to rosacea and eczema and ringworm and dry skin. And melanin skin is totally different in its complexity, in the makeup, in the cells, in the layers. It's totally different. The saying that black skin didn't crack is very true, but it has started cracking because all the formulas that we are using from big name brands, you can't sue them. There's no legal whatever, because it's a safe product, but it's not right for us. So we've learned it about our hairs, how to take better care of black hair. We understand their categories, 4A, 4B, 4C, and then maybe down to 3A, B, C if you're mixed race. We haven't done that for skincare, but it exists in skincare, and nobody is doing it. So that's where cookie skin, comes in, and that's one of the things that has made me last this long and take it that seriously, because it's worldwide. Even the dark-skinned Indians, the dark-skinned Asians, if you don't get your skincare right, you know how it is. You wake up, and because the melanin has been watered down, nobody in Africa was this color. We were darker than dark. And we live in Nigeria. We see people selling pure water on the road, selling plantain chips and stuff. Are they fainting or having skin cancer because of the sun?
No.
Our skin is naturally designed. Melanin is designed to be a power source of solar. It's even now being used in solar on glass screens and in medical industry because of the power of melanin. Melanin is gold, not just as a saying, because it actually is gold. So all of this information has been kept secret from us. It's not that they don't know. They know. The main big cosmetica, they actually know about this, but they keep it from you. So what you don't know, you can't use it. Then they wake up one day and they sell you micellar water and hydra mist, and you're paying for water. So there's a whole lot when it comes to inclusive beauty that they have just masked and confused you and make Africa talk about only bleaching or only. In fact,
because I was going to say that you're not contradicting as you yellow like this. You are talking about.
Well, it's not my fault that I'm yellow.
That's my point. Everybody wants to look like you.
Yes, I was looking at her when she was talking about melanin. I was like, really? You talking about me and Unti here?
So they are different. So because of colonization, and I'm working on the documentary for this, because of colonization, there are now different shades, and that was, in my opinion, it was intentional to cause that diversity. But that's not even now the issue. We are where we are. The skin is the largest organ. People just say, oh, the skin is the largest organ, so you have to take care of it. No, the skin is the largest organ, so you must respect it. And you must appreciate it. But how can you appreciate something that you don't understand? And people say, oh, love your melanin. You can't keep telling me to love my melanin when I have not studied it, when I don't understand. Even dermatologists don't understand it. So I had 2 kids. My son had eczema. Eczema, I started noticing because people would come in. I started doing consultations as a result of seeing what was happening and seeing that, wow, I actually need to sit these people down, hear their problems, educate them what I know, but actually learn more, because what I'm seeing is sad and they are depressed. And women, if we don't get control of our beauty, a nation cannot grow, especially African nations. We say women are the backbone. It's not just backbone because we work harder. We inspire. In all religions, they say women are the ones that prophesy and say, we repeat what men say. We inspire. If a woman is not happy, they say, happy wife, happy home, happy whatever. If a woman is not happy, whatever is coming out from her mouth is no good. But when a woman is happy, she's the biggest cheerleader of her friends, biggest cheerleaders of her sisters, biggest cheerleader, biggest supporter of her boyfriend, friend, of everybody. She will shout it loud. She would give that energy. She would inspire it. But when you don't feel secure in who you are, which is starting with how you look, how you feel, how you think others are judging you, the head is not straight, you'll never have rest. And you're never going to think about anything bigger than, oh my God, do I look good enough? And I'm spending all my money on all this makeup and the next big thing.
You know what? Let's go on a very short break. When we come back from the break, I think Uti and Money, they are ready for you. Stay with us. All right, thanks for staying with us. Now, if you just tuned in, we're discussing beauty business and the impact inclusivity has had over the years in the beauty world. Now we have Leslie Okoye with us. And please remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-4663. You can also tweet at us at WayShowAfrica1 with the hashtag WayShow. So, Uti, over to you.
It's interesting to hear you talk about melanin. So I met you many moons ago. I know you won't remember. But one of my more recent encounters with you was one of your, I think I follow you on Instagram, and I got a notification one day that you were going live. And I usually wouldn't click on those things, but I clicked on this one on that day. And I came in just as you were talking about, it was like debunking skincare. So you mentioned a particular brand that was all the rave at the time, and you were like, you guys are just damaging the layer of your skin. Like, you don't need a toner. And I was like, what's she saying? Okay, I want to listen. But I learned a lot that day in dispelling some myths. And I think that I agree with you in the sense that some things are profitable for selling, which is why my question is not really about diversity in any way. It's a direct question. You just said that melanin is power. And the thing that you just talked about, I always often ask myself that these people that are in the sun day in, day out, right? They're not dying. But I see people today, even other skincare experts that claim that they focus on women of color, talk about sunscreen. And everybody must have sunscreen. In fact, now they're telling you you must reapply every 3 hours.
Thank you.
Sprays. The other day, I was watching a YouTube video. This woman puts on a full face of makeup. Then she's like, my sunscreen brand is fantastic. You can put it on makeup in the middle of a restaurant. She's with her cousins and friends. She's like rubbing makeup on. I'm like, am I wearing a different brand of makeup from you? Because if I did that, the whole thing would be a ripping mess. So if melanin is power and is powered by the sun, is this sunscreen thing just another cover up and lie? Can we debunk that one so that I don't feel guilty when I don't wear sunscreen?
Okay, good, very, very good question. So everybody, it is good that everybody uses sunscreen. Do you understand? Sunscreen depends on your skin color. So the darker you are, the less sunscreen you would need. Now, there are two areas of sunscreen. The reason why people are screaming sunscreen. Remember, who is producing sunscreen? Caucasian companies, mainly. I'm not saying that there's no black-owned manufacturer. There might be one or two or whatever, but we're getting many of them from Caucasian or Asian lighter skin companies, right? So they have issues with the sun. Their skin is not as thick as a darker skin person. If we take a pore right here, not pore, pinch her skin, pinch my skin, we have thinner skin compared to both of you. The darker you are, the thicker your skin is. And what happens with melanin is that it's like little soldiers in your skin, the cells. The sun activates it, depending on how hot it is, depending on how long you're out there, and all the soldiers come and barricade. So that's what people call a suntan. White people want a suntan. White people's skin is thinner. The sun also dries you up if there's no humidity. Remember, Africa, we have a lot of humidity at the same time as well as the sun. And some areas of Africa are more dry. So using sunscreen should just be according to discretion. If you are going to lay down in Saint-Tropez and it is July or August, please use sunscreen if you're going to bake in the sun. If you're not baking in the sun and you're indoors the way you're indoors, you don't have to use sunscreen. If you're fully covered, if you are bothered about the caste system, meaning you want to look as if you have never stepped outside to even just go and maybe pick up the newspaper or see small sun.
I don't do sun.
I don't do sun. Like you're just a queen and you're just fanning you inside your house. Then yes, you can be applying sunscreen 24/7, so that so that your melanin will never be activated. Do you understand? However, rule of thumb: the lighter you are, your color you are, my color, we need more sunscreen than you guys. But do I believe that I, Leslie, must wear sunscreen 24/7?
No.
I don't believe so.
Manny, but so I suffer from sunburn, and trust me, it takes a while for the thing to clear. So that's why I just try to avoid, but it's not like I wear sunscreen every time. But the days I know that I'm going to be out for a very long time, I
agreed. I mean, because I tan as well, but I just see that all of a sudden, from nowhere, it was like this wave of you must wear sunscreen, you must buy sunscreen. Well, sunscreen isn't cheap.
So let's talk about the business part of all of these narratives, because if I hear you clearly, some people have successfully sold a narrative, and that's why their business is doing exceptionally well in the beauty industry, because people are cashing out. The beauty world, I can't even quantify how much trillions it turns over, right? And again, now Africa is really like the focus, of this beauty companies, the big names, right? Unlike before.
They're coming in here, they're camping in our homes, and they're selling us first makeup. You all remember, when did we start doing face beats? Was it not Instagram?
Yeah, so
all of a sudden we're seeing you must put
beat on a daily.
Basically, it's not even about beating. The amount of foundation plus concealer plus powder. Oh, and you need the angle brush.
See why I don't do all
you need the angle brush. You need
like
there's nothing wrong with doing it. We all have makeup on. But I'm saying, what is the purpose many people are doing? They show that before and after.
All day, every day.
If our skin was on point, if we weren't breaking out, if we weren't suffering from as much hyperpigmentation as we suffer, we would not need all this makeup.
But Africans, so many people still have their faces on point, like clear skin, but they still want to wear makeup
every day.
Yeah,
I don't know
I
that.
think so.
A lot of people that come for consultations to me and come with the issues is because they started on this skincare journey, or first of all, wrong skincare. So they are using foreign brands. They're not using any bleaching cream or mixed cream. They just wanted their best skin, like, oh, I'm in my 30s now, or let's say I just want to have glass skin. You hear that glass skin or dewy skin or poreless. I don't want any pores or whatever. So they go and do a standard facial that they thought was standard, or a chemical peel. You've all heard of chemical peels. Chemical peel is not ideal. The recommendations for chemical peel abroad should not be the same for an African or a woman of color that lives in Africa that doesn't have winter. If you don't live abroad where there is winter, and it shouldn't be done during summer months, it should only be done during winter months, questions should be asked as to the strength of it. The length of time that it's left on your face should not be the same time as being left on a white person's face. So truly, if that person doing it is not experienced, doesn't care, I wouldn't even say experienced, meaning if I were white and I did a black person's face, just like that's happened with laser, doing laser, and people have gotten burned, and they have to make laser for black people. If I have done that and I care about my clients, and I know that I'm living in a country where there are lots of black people, this person complains I burnt her face, that person complains that there's hyperpigmentation, there's something wrong with that formula. There's something wrong with, because I do it on white people, everything's fine. Exfoliation is the real demon in beauty. That word, exfoliation. You all have heard it. People are using face polish. People are using sponges. The sponges you guys use should not be. There's a whole dynamics. The soap, especially liquid soap, should be thrown away. I don't use liquid soap in my house. That's what's causing a lot of eczema, especially with your kids. Then
you're breaking tables.
Then certain procedures like hammam. I lived in an Arab country for 5 years, in Tunisia for 5 years. I started cookie skin while I was there. Started thinking about it, started testing my products. The Arab women don't scrub their body until only once a year or twice max during the winter. So they are not, are they not the owners of the hammam? And they are not hammaming every month.
The body.
They are not hammaming every month. So people are like, my skin is so dry. I did a hammam. I'm going for another. And I'm looking at them like, there's almost no skin to hammam. Have you felt that sponge? Why do you want to hurt yourself? Why do Africans feel that pain is beauty?
They will tell you that it's easy for you to see. After all, you are glowing. You don't need to make any effort. But I want to
I've
say
made
that
many people glow. It's not about glow. See, you say I'm glowing. Is it my color that is glowing? Anybody can glow.
Yes.
so, because you know
Skin.
now
True,
the
it's not
new
the color
trend
of
with
skin.
business and beauty, you see any small thing you see on Instagram, they sit down on one lovely couch. There's
an ivy.
there. You know, somebody say vampire facial.
What's that about?
You know, so there's so much going on. So is it that how harmful are these things? Because I don't want to believe that these things are 100% good for us, but we're just absorbing everything.
The question, anything can be harmful. It's almost like saying how harmful is alcohol. The idea on its own is not a harmful thing. Question is it what you need? Everybody should know what they need. Inclusive beauty and the scream and the conversation about inclusivity begins in the education. And the fact that, you see how you've all heard about sunscreen. Why are we not talking about, you mentioned something about skin tones. You know, you said, oh, the golden skin tones, I think you said blue, bluish skin tone. Why do you even know about blue when you're a black person? For black people, it's red, yellow. And an in-between. And our skin tone is extremely important, not just for the development of makeup, but for the development of products, skincare products. Because a red skin tone cannot get more than half a shade to a shade lighter. And when they get dark, you can't really notice it. It's what Africans call dull skin.
Even when they use the glutathione?
Even when they use all things. A yellow undertone can get 1 shade, 2 shades, 3 shades lighter. They can also get darker easily. And then they can stay neutral. That's the magic of melanin. So our melanin cells respond to certain things. And if it's natural, let's say just like sun, you're going under the sun, Africans are protected. The darker you are protected. So I'm not saying never use sunscreen, bake in the sun for 5 hours. Nobody's saying that. But if you have 30 minutes of sun, it will not kill you. It's actually, unless your skincare routine has been predominantly wrong. Let's say you want to hammam your skin today, use the hammam sponge morning and night. You know, we shower twice a day. Add black soap on top of the whole thing. Add, what's it called? Body polish or lightening organic cream on top of it. I mean, there's almost no skin by the time you go to the sun. So God knew that Africans lived in the equatorial place that has sun. So he gave us thicker skin and gave us the defense, which is called melanin, so that when that sun is there, it protects you like a shield.
So this idea to us that melanin is bad? Because everybody now is taking those IV glutathione.
You've answered the question already.
Big
Cosmetica.
Thank you.
She has
I was
called
just going to
this.
say, just like the big fans, we have the big cost.
I just even want to come back home because what you mentioned a lot of the things that are selling like hot cake now. When Cookie Skin first started, there were so few Nigerian brands. So today, you can't throw a rock on Instagram and not hit a new one. Everybody is making cream and claiming it's organic. It's fantastic. Let's even come away from the bleaching, guys, because we've diversified, right? There's a lot of people claiming to do good stuff.
Organic.
So what is your view on that? Because it obviously sounds that you've got a lot of experience. You've taken the time to understand the makeup of our skin. Do you feel that there are other beauty entrepreneurs out there that are doing what you're doing, or are they just capitalizing? So we now have Nigerian Cosmetica.
Is there any other person that understands it the way I do? No. To be honest, there isn't. I lived in America for a long time. I've been there, spoken to dermatologists there. Tunisia, same thing. Tunisia even understands. First of all, they ban hydroquinone. And then second of all, they don't overdo the way we do it here. You know, it's about love-hate of the melanin. And I don't blame our African people because we had slavery, we had colonialism. That really did a number on us,
Yeah.
and it was intentional. All right, but then we're now educated, and it's now 2022, so we can't keep blaming anybody else. It's about somebody needs to come out, just like you had Madam C.J. Walker understood hair. We need somebody that understands skin to break it down. And nobody has broken it down because they don't understand it. You can have all the degrees of dermatology, they don't understand. So even with acne, we're not even now just talking about color. There's a reason why a lot of us are breaking out more than usual and having adult acne. You should not be having that much adult acne if you're not taking hormones. Do you understand? If your hormones are balanced already. Then somebody says, the biggest one is hormonal imbalance. Oh, they said it's hormonal imbalance for my acne. Yeah, I get all these things, hormonal imbalance. And, I said, okay, let's just come in for a consultation. Because first I have to see the skin. I'm not just going to dispute it. Hormonal imbalance that people are saying is your acne. Is not. What's happening is your skin. I'm looking at your skin. Our skin is thicker than white people's skin. Anybody that has pimples here, cheek, basically there's nothing on your cheek per se. That's when you know that it's normal pimples. It's lower and it's to the chin. All parts of our body have hair. Hairy people, Africans tend to have thicker hair. It's curlier. Because of your hair growth, it is stuck somewhere and doesn't come out easily because our skin is thicker. So if you're now even using products that are not designed for you, white people care about wrinkles. So their products have a lot of fillers. Beyond the fact that they have wrinkles, that is with fillers and it's because of wrinkles, they don't have natural ingredients. So they have to make synthetic fillers. They can claim that it's about sustainability or whatever. But those things end up blocking your pores. They're not light enough for your skin to breathe. So the routine that people are copying, that you're seeing online, it's for people. They say, layer, it's 5-step, 10-step, 12-step, Korean, all. Your skin is not your skin. That's just it. So it doesn't seem to work out. So you have people that have spent 2 million naira. I have consultations of people worldwide. I had somebody coming from Australia. She watched the documentary I was on Netflix, Skin. She said, sorry, please, you just sounded like you knew what you were talking about. And she's an Australian, but mixed race Australian. Nothing to do with Nigeria. She has her own skincare line that she's starting. All natural. And you have a lot of people going into all natural and they do body scrub. I'm 100% against body scrub.
On that note, we have run out of time. Let's quickly take messages. Hey, we thought we were going to talk for 2 minutes.
Right.
Quickly.
So this one says, good evening, my dear beautiful sisters, or what are you saying, #ways. The topic is beauty business and impact of inclusivity. Your guest made mention of women loving their skin and respecting it. That is a very strong point and should be put into consideration. To maintain a very strong beauty, women must know what to apply on their skin. Bleaching does not beautify the skin, it destroys it. My dear beautiful sister, it's a very big thank you, Daniel. I'll leave it because we don't have time, but thank you so much, Daniel.
Inclusive beauty is becoming table stakes for the beauty industry, and it is not supposed to be so because some of them actually went to do surgery and so on from Ondo State.
Oh my goodness, we ran out of time, but thank you so much. I think we need to have a conversation.
I think so.
Yeah, because we just scratched.
So many questions. I have so many questions for her.
We didn't even touch anywhere. We were just somewhere. But thank you so much. We've run out of time.
Thanks for having me.
That's what happens when you're doing a 1-hour show. But I think we've had a fantastic conversation. Thank you so much, Leslie. Thank you, Mani and Uti. So before we go, ensure you follow us on Instagrams at PlusTvAfrica. You can interact with us further, drop a comment, and more importantly, follow all our engagements on social media. Like, share, invite your families and friends to watch and follow the conversation. Now, if you missed today's quote, here it is again. By decolonizing the industry is saying goodbye to backward beauty standards and adopting an inclusive conception of beauty itself, and only then will we have an industry that is inclusive in its focus, product creation and representation. So, I mean, Leslie had said right from formulation, that's when the consideration should start. All right, we'll see you guys live on Monday at 8 p.m. as we bring another great conversation to your screen. Enjoy.